Hey, shalom, 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 lakam, which is peace unto you all. Hi, Ra Tawab La Atham, Za'akekam Yawan Man Chagadar Charlotte, which is good evening. This is your brother Yawan from the GMS camp in Charlotte. Nacham Atham Kaya Hamalakat Hashamayim Kwa Ra, repent ye, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Call Halayim La La Abanawa Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Racha Kwadash, Wa Mashnala Zaquim Nawa Wa Malakim Shor Chagadar, which is all praises to our Father Yahweh, which means he exists, Bahasham, and the name Yahweh Shai he delivers. And double honor to the other apostles of Great Millstone. This is Yashaya Isaiah chapter 19 and verse 1. It says, the burden of Egypt, behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall fail, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. All right. So essentially, when we look at ancient Egypt, they had, the different idols that they abided in, that they confided in, and essentially the Lord touched them as well, Same thing with America, Babylon the Great in these times to come, because if you look at, Western Carolina, all right, those different people, they into whatever they into, you see, but the different idols that they confide in, hey, they have no answers, and they didn't deliver them from those said calamities that came upon them, you see. So I just want to get some precepts just going into how the idols of Egypt shall be moved. All right. So I'm going to get this. This is Thahoyim Psalms chapter 97, and we'll give verse 7, and it says, confounded be all they that serve graven images, that boast themselves of idols, worship him, all ye gods. All right, so those that worship graven images, going into these different idols, all right, essentially, all right, they're going to be put to shame, be ashamed, be disconcerted, be disappointed, feel shame. All right, to be, so like it says, to act shamefully. All right, then it says to pale. All right, in confusion. All right, they're in confusion. Those that essentially trust in these different idols. All right, so I'm gonna get this. This is Salat. This is Yaramyah, Jeremiah chapter 10, and we'll give verse 14. All right, and it says, every man is brutish in his own knowledge. So like, every man is brutish in his knowledge. Every founder is confounded by the graven image. For his molten image is falsehood, and there is no breath in them. They are vanity and the work of errors. In the time of their visitation, they shall perish. It's like they shall perish. All right, so, those that confide in, Baal, Ishtar, all right, those people, those believers of that different type of lifestyle, hey, essentially, they're going to perish in the time of their visitation. All right, let me get this. This is Yashaya, Isaiah chapter 44. So let me get this. This is Chakama, Shoshalamah, Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 13. And we'll get verse 1. It says, surely vain are all men by nature who are ignorant of the Most High, and cannot out of the good things that are seen know him that is. Neither by considering the works did they acknowledge the workmaster. You see, because if you go out, you look at all creation. All right, it was very intricately designed or created. If you look at the human body, it's like a computer. All right, it's a self-sustaining computer. All right, so someone had to create it. All right, the Lord Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shah. You see, but you got those that don't essentially give the Lord his credit. They don't actually consider, acknowledge that the Lord, made everything. It says, but deemed either fire or wind or the swift air or the circle of the stars. All right, because you got guys that, or you have people that worship fire, wind, and the swift air. All right, air. It says, or the circle of the stars, or the violent water. All right, you got people that are into like stargazing and worshiping constellations. All right, going to the zodiacs. All right, astrology, astronomy. All right, and what have you. It says, or the lights of heaven. You got sun worshipers, moon worshipers. All right, and the ruling bodies of the heavens. All right, you got people that's in that type of stuff. It says to to be the gods which govern the world. It says, with whose beauty, if they being delighted to them, Salak took them to be gods, let them know how much better the Lord of them is. For the first author of beauty hath created them. The Lord Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shah created everything. It says, but if they were astonished at their power and virtue, let them understand by them how much mightier he is that made them. For by the greatness and beauty of the creatures proportionably the maker of them is seen. Because essentially, if you look at, all right, the creation of water, or if you look at the creation of trees, or if you look at how extensive these things go into, that's how much more proportionately the Lord is greater. It shows the meticulousness of the Lord, But it says, but yet for this they are less to be blamed, for they peradventure err, seeking the Most High and desirous to find him. For being conversant in his works, they search him diligently and believe their sight, because the things are beautiful that are seen, howbeit neither are they to be pardoned. For if they were able to know so much that they could aim at the world, how did they not sooner find out the Lord thereof? But miserable are they, and in dead things is their hope, who call them gods, which are the works of men's hands, gold and silver, to shew art in, and resemble of beasts, or a stone good for nothing, the work of an ancient hand. All right, because essentially, when you go into these different idols and stuff like that, it's just nothing more. Like it says in Isaiah the 44th chapter, it was essentially something that was made by a man's hand. He tried his best to make it look very good. Like verse 11 goes into it, says, now a carpenter that felleth timber, after he had sawn down a tree meet for the purpose, and taketh off all the bark skillfully round about, and hath wrought it handsomely, and made a vessel thereof fit for the service of man's life. All right, so they try to make it look as best as possible, but it's good for nothing. Like it says in Habakkuk chapter 2. All right, and we'll get verse 16, verse 17, and it says, verse 18, what profiteth the graven image, that the maker thereof have graven it? All right, so what benefit does a graven image have? Nothing. It says the molten image and a teacher of lies. All right, it's a teacher of lies. All right, it's deceptions. All right, because essentially, it's no truth in these. It's no truth in these different philosophies. All right, it's not telling you anything how to live a better life. All right, it's just something that look good. And it says that the maker of his work trusted therein to make dumb idols, something that doesn't even speak to you. It says, woe unto him that saith to the wood, all right, Islam, awake to the dumb stone, arise, Shalak. It says, back to the top, it says, woe unto him that saith to the wood, all right, Christianity, all right, you got the cross, so-called Christianity, awake to the dumb stone, all right, going into that cobblestone, arise, it shall teach, behold, it is laid over with gold and silver, and there is no breath at all in the midst of it. All right, so there's no breath at all, but it says laid over with silver and gold, because these things are just, here to look good, It doesn't have any type of purpose. There's no breath in it, like it just said, and there's no breath in it, which pretty much goes into understanding, because these different philosophies and lifestyles, it's not going to do anything in this time, but sit there, and look pretty, so to speak, We got some examples right here. All right, this is a statue in Virginia Beach, Virginia, and it's a statue of so-called Neptune. All right, which when you look at it, they got the camera, which the view, it looks good, and then also the person that essentially made it, they tried their best, like the scripture right here goes into. All right, they put their all right, in the making of this, but all of that is done in vain. Going back to the point in Habakkuk chapter 2. All right, this is Salah. This is, let me see. I'll start from verse 13. All right, this is Isaiah 44 and 13. It says, the carpenter stretched out his rule. He marketh it out with a line. He fitteth it with planes. He marketh it out with the compass. and maketh it after the figure of a man, according to the beauty of a man, that it may remain in the house. He heweth him down cedars, and taketh the cypress and the oak, which he strengtheneth for himself among the trees of the forest. He planteth an ash, and the rain doeth nourish it. Then shall it be for a man to burn, for he will take thereof and warm himself. Yet he kindleth it, and baketh bread. Yet he maketh a god, and worshipeth it. He maketh it a graven image, and falleth down thereto. It says, he burneth part thereof in the fire, with part thereof he eateth flesh. He roasteth roast, and is satisfied. Yet he warmeth himself, and saith, Aha, I am warm. I have seen the fire, and the residue thereof he maketh a god, even his graven image. He falleth down unto it, and worshipeth it, and prayeth unto it, and saith, Deliver me, for thou art my power. They have not known nor understood, for he hath shut their eyes, that they cannot see, and their hearts, that they cannot understand. It says, None considereth in his heart, neither is there knowledge nor understanding to say, I have burned part of it in the fire, yet also I have baked bread upon the coals thereof. I have roasted flesh and eaten it, and shall I make the residue thereof an abomination? Shall I fall down to the stock of a tree? He feedeth on ashes, a deceived heart hath turned him aside, that he cannot deliver his soul, nor say, Is there not a lie in my right hand? You see, in the makers of these different philosophies and idols and stuff like that, they don't consider that. You see, it's just something that look good. All right. Same with this, because you got Jakes that essentially abide in this as well. All right. When you go into Ishtar, the bitch got a BBL, which when you go into this, all right. This is Deuteronomy chapter 23, and we'll get verse 17. It says, There shall be no whore of the daughters of Yasha'Allah, nor a sodomite of the sons of Yasha'Allah. And you essentially got, 2/3 of Jake. They essentially abide in those different types of philosophies. They believe wholeheartedly that that's the way, even though it doesn't produce any type of life. All right, and there's no answers in that. All right, that doesn't push forth anything that's in the scriptures. All right, the Lord doesn't approve of that. All right, that's just something that, going back to the precept that we got in Isaiah chapter 44 and verse 17 or verse 18, verse 20. It says, He feedeth on ashes, a deceived heart hath turned him aside. That goes into the deception of these different philosophies. These vain philosophies. So, which being a sodomite, all right, that goes into that lifestyle. All right, when you go into the woman worship, that goes into Ishtar worship. All right, and these different idols. So I'm gonna get this again, and I'm gonna go ahead and close it out. This is Yashaya, Isaiah chapter 19, and we'll get verse 2, and it says. Verse 1, it says, The burden of Egypt, behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. You see, so the idols of Egypt are being moved. Ishtar, all right, the different Greek idols that have made their way over here to America, Babylon the Great. Every idol that someone can confide in, that 2/3 of these heathen confide in, they're going to be moved. All right, what's happening right now is these idols are being cast down, all right, while this truth is being raised up. All right, this is 2 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 4. It says, For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through the Most High to the pulling down of strongholds. Them idols and those different philosophies are strongholds on Jake, but this truth is going throughout the earth, and it's exposing, these philosophies for what they are, trash, bullshit, deceptions. All right. All right, verse 5, it says, Casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of the Most High, and bring it into captivity every thought to the obedience of Hamashiach. All right, so these idols are being moved, you see, because this truth is spreading throughout the four corners of the globe, you see. So I just wanted to go into that. Adonai Tazah, Zabah Yapa. Lord's will, that was a beautiful edification to the spirit. Adonai Tazah, Atam Yashlai Latawabi. Lord's will, you all have a good night. Wa shalom lakam. Just peace to you all.